What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of 4 Dummies, where we have the other 3 dummies, Mrs. Skullface.
Hello.
Robert D.
Hello.
There it is.
And Just Glenn.
Yo, what's happening?
Tonight, we're going to be talking about something that's a little controversial, and not for the sake of being controversial, although some people do think that we like to stir the pot, but it's more so a commentary on what's already going on in that pot, and that is the effects that MP-44 and Unicron seem to be having on the community at large. It's been a while since I've seen people so at each other's throats over their difference of opinions regarding these two pieces and where the support should go.
It definitely started with the Unicron, and I think the MP-44 is just the rollover because
there's already blood in the water.
Yeah, and everybody's been shutting down Unicron talks everywhere, so you can't even mention his name. So that's kind of just where it went. So the tension I feel like with the whole Unicron thing, it stems around the price, right?
So I think the price is for both. I'm going to put that out there.
Yeah.
I think both of them center around the price.
The disdain.
Either the passionately co-signing or passionately criticizing. It both has to do with the price. I think that both parties would like to enjoy both pieces, honestly.
What you said on SCU was if these figures cost $60, $70, nobody would be upset.
Correct.
Nobody.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So you got people arguing about the price. You got the arguments going back and forth whether the Unicron's going to be funded.
How is that going with the extension?
It's leveled out. So there was a spike, not because of the extension, but the spike garnered the extension, and now it's leveled out.
I got it.
Justice for Cookie Monster.
At first, the argument with Unicron, right, was, oh, it's not. And I was saying this stuff too, and I still do. This figure is not a masterpiece. It is a chug. It's just a giant chug. And I'm not happy with having this giant chug dominating my visual space in my display.
But Robert, that's exactly why I decided I was all in and I was going to do it. And then I looked at it again right before I was about to purchase it. And I was like, you know what? It's not what I want. I don't want to pay this much money for this thing.
Well,
for a strong man.
See, that's the way I feel about 44. See, Unicron is not trying to be a masterpiece.
But that's the thing. The price is.
No, it's not. How much is MP-44?
$330 on pre-order, $450 now.
Okay, so let's take that and then say it's 28 inches or whatever this thing is, and then it turns into a planet. How much does that cost?
I don't know. I mean, obviously it's $600, but
no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's my point. Is that this is the chug blown up to this size. You don't even want to imagine what the price would be of a Takara MP Unicron built to this size. Right. It would be $2,000 to $2,500.
Hold on. Well, we have now something to compare it to. We have the Zeta, right? It's $200 and it's about half the size.
Yeah, well,
so I don't think that's a comparison.
I don't either, because take a look at Zeta's Onslaught, compare it to Optimus Prime, and then compare the prices. I don't think it's an unfair price necessarily for either.
The thing is with the Unicron, right? Initially, right, it seemed like the argument was, well, this is a chug, not a masterpiece.
I don't know why anyone would have that argument. The only time that masterpiece is entering the conversation is when it's somebody saying it's not a masterpiece. It's like it's like you telling me I'm not a banana.
No,
and then getting upset about it. It's like, you know what I mean? It's absurd. It's like, of course I'm not a banana. No one's saying I'm a banana.
That's my point. My point is, at first that was the argument, but it was really like maybe people didn't even understand what was bothering them. It's not because it's not masterpiece and that it's like a chug. It's just because of the money, and they're just looking for a reason to vent their anger at not being able to have what everybody knows you want.
So I think that's valid, and the reason why I say that is because when I compare it to how I feel about this MP-44, right? I'm not going to spend that much money on that thing because to me it's not worth it. But I'm not angry about it. It's just kind of a dim the rules situation.
Right. I just feel like Hasbro is factoring in the secondary market and saying, you know what, let's just charge that kind of money. I mean, that's the only kind of logic I can figure here.
And I know this is tinfoily of me, but I think they're trying to account for that Pokemon license being lost as well.
Yeah.
Oh, the toy and Toys R Us being out, like they're recouping those losses for sure.
This is what a corporation will charge you for a figure. Whatever they think you're gonna be willing to pay for it. They don't have shame. So if they know they'll sell this out for $450, they're gonna charge you $450.
And they did. Everybody just justified it. Now they realize, okay, look, we can get away with this price for a masterpiece. We can't get away with this price for a chug because Unicron's potentially failed.
Like Metroplex is big, right?
Correct.
And that was what, $100?
One thing that we can't do is correlate size and price.
Yeah.
Because what you're paying for, right? You're paying for the design, you're paying for the mold, you're paying for the engineering, you're paying for the parts count. But Metroplex does not have a high parts count. Metroplex's legs are probably 8 to 15 pieces.
Okay.
There's 8 to 15 pieces in Unicron's calves alone.
Bobby, but you know the cheapest engineering is to just make a shell former. You just make a bot and then have all the bits that come out and cover it, and you've got the alt mode.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. And I think that if Zeta's was bigger, I would get Zeta's. I think it looks better.
The discussion we're having now is a really just genuinely friendly debate, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole topic here isn't the actual debate itself. It's what this debate has done in the community.
I've never seen threads have to be shut down because people are feeling a type of way.
Yeah, so I guess I would say, like, if you are upset that somebody has a difference of opinion regarding a toy to the point where you are slandering that person personally, you might want to take a long look at yourself and seriously contemplate if you're not upset with yourself for the decision that you have made.
And if you get upset at someone else digging at you and they're wrong, you're just as guilty.
Correct.
Because you're revealing your own insecurity. It's like
regarding
it's two
your
sides
choice.
of the same coin. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've always said that losing your temper is a sign of weakness, not strength. Once you lose your temper, you've lost.
Laura just looked at me like I was the weakest dude on the planet.
Bring us back to our topic. You know what I noticed? There was this pressure. There really was. It was palpable. It was intense. It felt like a civil war is brewing. There are people rising in the ranks on the sides of good and evil. And
it's true. It's true.
Friends were becoming enemies, brother against brother. Just really nice people who individually are awesome, just really going at each other. And then people who used to like third party are now sticking up for this because they've always wanted this, and they're going after the people that used to trash Hasbro. I mean, everything's upside down. You don't know who's on what side. And then Zeta released the images of the actual bot. And I feel like when that happened, the pressure got released because people had a cheaper alternative that was aesthetically pleasing.
I think that on one hand, you had the people with the cheaper alternative being able to have an option. And on the other hand, you had the people that were hardcore committed saying, well, I don't want the smaller option.
Let me blow your mind for a second. Are you ready for this? Mm-hmm. Many of the people who are all in on the Haslab Unicron are third-party high-end collectors who are used to spending that money.
Oh, yeah.
The people who are upset about that figure are the ones who collect Chug, who are not that they can't spend the money. We're not talking any of that shit. There are levels of getting acclimated in spending. We know that. We've talked about this. And third-party high-end stuff is a different world than like Chug stuff. So you've got all these Chug collectors that want this Unicron, and maybe they can or can't or will or won't. They aren't getting it. And it's really upsetting for them because that's their Unicron.
Right.
And now the tables have turned. The third-party guys are getting it. It's like everyone switched sides.
Yeah, that is true, man. That is true. Like, that is a good point.
And now you've got people, I think, they're going to go for Zeta who never would have collected third party. It's mind-blowing.
I mean, maybe it's a resurgence that third party needs,
Mm-hmm,
maybe this will bring it back, and then you'll start seeing all these figures. People will be like, oh, third party's dope.
What about the MP-44? Because I feel like there's a lot going on there as well.
Anyone has a right to be upset about that price, right? I mean, it seems a little more because it is a masterpiece, right? There is no debate about whether it's MP or not. But now you've got people saying, well, the official is more expensive. That's the debate. Versus the third party is much cheaper. It used to be the opposite. The third party is so much more expensive.
Right. And you're arguing that the third party aesthetically looks better too. You know what I mean? Like, it is real interesting to see the shifts kind of. And I'm all right spending this amount of money, but when I saw that MP-44 was like that much money, it was almost like a gut check. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
A lot of the vitriol out there, I think, is due to the fact that Hasbro's leaving a lot of people behind, and they're being priced out. And I think they'd want this, but it's so expensive that a lot of official collectors are out, and it's prime.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the over-under is going to be for what this figure does to the line. So anyway, I think that generally, so it's just a low-brow move to piss on somebody's parade if they're enjoying something.
You're angry at the company. Don't shit on the person who got it.
Yeah, and I also think it's a lowbrow move to be insecure about the purchase that you made in the face of those that are criticizing you. You think Jay-Z cares about what color his Bentley is in terms of your opinion?
I don't feel this need to either convince Bobby that he has to get this and his is and yours is for this reason, and mine is better, and you should get mine instead. And he's telling me you're an idiot for spending that much, and you should have this, and you're stupid for spending that much money on that product, and you're only convincing Hasbro to charge you that much money. It's like, you can enjoy what you got.
I want to say this, though, too, about, because Robert, you were just saying, like, look, you don't have to trash somebody's opinion, right? But my thing is, too, even if somebody's out there trashing your opinion for buying the thing, you don't have to get triggered either.
Yes,
Right.
yes, exactly.
Like,
it's a two-way
everybody
street.
on both sides just needs to relax.
If you trigger, you're revealing that you have the same insecurity as the other person.
Don't let other people make their problems your problems.
I want to see a psychedelic clown.
A box of magic tricks.
I want-
Justice for Cookie Monster.
Can we get
That's what I want to see for real.